Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we find ourselves wandering in the desert, much like MbL, playing as the Hindustanis in red as he gets ready to take on JorDan, playing as the Poles in blue. And while the players find a suitable location for their town centers, let's take a look at the Civ matchup and then take a look at the map that we'll be watching today. And the Hindustanis are a civilization that pushes its players towards a mixed army composition made up of gunpowder and camel units. To start with, all Hindustani gunpowder units come with extra armor, and their hand cannoneers can be upgraded to get a nice +2 attack range boost. Now, their camels also come with a few cool features. First, they have an attack bonus against buildings, which addresses my main concern with camels, which is that they are absolutely terrible at taking down buildings. Second, these units attack 20% faster. And third, the Hindustanis have access to the Imperial Camel Rider. This is a fairly strong, very tanky, super fast, upgraded version of the already fun and powerful Heavy Camel Rider. Now, in order to defend their hand cannoneers from pesky ranged units that might want to snipe them during the battle, Hindustanis can field a second unique unit, the Ghulam. This is an anti-archer unit, infantry unit that moves very quickly, has high pierce armor, and comes with an attack bonus against archers. And by the way, the spear that it carries can injure multiple units at once. Now, to support the quick production of their expensive units, Hindustani villagers do become progressively cheaper as the game goes on. 5% cheaper in Dark Age, 20% cheaper in Imperial, and the Hindustani economy can be made much more efficient by increasing the speed of all gold income by 10% and reducing the commodity trading fee from 30% to 10%, making it easier for the Hindustanis to quote-unquote balance their economy using the market. Now, the Poles are a civilization very much focused on their cavalry. If you're in the mood for something light, Pole Scout cavalry line units do get a small attack bonus against archers and can be upgraded to do trample damage, which is fantastic and very helpful in the late game because the Poles are one of the only two civs in the game to have their hussars replaced with winged hussars, which are already tankier and stronger than hussars and come with an attack bonus against gunpowder units and an even bigger attack bonus against monks. We'll see if that's a problem for our Hindustani. Now, if you're in the mood for something a little bit heavier, Pole knights and cavaliers can be upgraded to cost a lot less gold. And when I say a lot less gold, I mean a lot, 60% less gold. So it becomes much easier to spam these heavy cavalry units as the game goes on. What are you, Mr. Dot? Okay, you are just a sheep right at the north of the map. To back up their cavalry on the field of battle, the Poles can field a unique unit, the Obuch. This is a tanky, well-armored infantry unit whose attack actually reduces melee and pierce armor of any opponent it attacks with its giant, massive warhammer. Now, to support the production of their food and gold-intensive cavalry units, Pole stone miners also generate gold. Their farmers have access to a unique structure called the Folwark. This basically replaces the mill and automatically adds 8% of the value of any farm seated within its radius to the coffers of the Poles immediately. Also provides 5 population space, which a mill does not. And lastly, Pole villagers are harder to raid because, like Viking berserkers starting in Feudal Age, they do regenerate HP. So those are the two civs we'll be watching today. Let's take a look at the map and see where the hell we actually are. Ooh, look at this. Town centers within spitting distance of each other. This is either going to be a very short game or a very long bloody game. But I'm going to zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. This is giving me African clearing vibes, except it's not closed off on all sides. It's kind of open to the northeast and to the southwest, and the forests are much thicker around the perimeter. How do the resources look? I'm hearing a lot of sheep bleating in the background. It does look like there's small piles of resources. Not really much. Not a lot at all. So that juicy Polish stone mining bonus where they generate gold as well. I mean, he's got 2 gold piles in the back. We'll see if that helps him out. But aside from that, not a lot of resources on the map. I guess that the designers of this map just wanted this game to end very quickly. Let's take a look at the vision of our Pole. Doesn't look like he's seen where our Hindustani is. Our Hindustani has not seen where our Pole is. So both players still in the dark, but a blue sheep, okay, has discovered the house. One thing I will note, if this is your first time watching the polls, or you're like me, like to see bonuses in action, here is the full work, and any farm seated within this radius will automatically add 8% of its value to the Polish coffers. So JorDan placing it a little bit into space over here, and let's see if he managed to find his opponent's base. I mean, it looks like the sheep got there, but then got teefed. I don't know if he saw anything. It's very hard to tell sometimes whether or not. I mean, we see the blue circle around here. MbL does not. JorDan looks like the first player to hit the wood line on the edges of the map. And we'll see. Generally, you know, when you're playing against the Poles, you do not want them to get that Schlachta upgrade that makes their knights and later on their cavaliers much cheaper. You do not want to let them get into mid-castle to Imperial, and so the pressure needs to be applied. That being said, the Hindustanis, also a civilization that peaks, let's put it like that. Their power peaks later on in the game, and so we'll see if MbL puts on any pressure on our Pole, if our Pole puts any pressure on our Hindustani. For now, ostriches are being hunted all over the map. A sheep continuing to explore, not really running into anything. Map vision here looks pretty similar, which is reflected in the players' scores. It looks like our Hindustani will hit Feudal first, off the back of one less villager. About 50 to 60 seconds ahead of his opponent, I would say. Very sparse amounts of wood on this map as well, which necessitates going to the edges. And look at this. Our Pole knows that our Hindustani knows that he needs to apply pressure on the Poles, and so immediately creates a wall off. I don't mind this wall off at all. Usually I would complain, for lack of a better word. I would observe, let's put it more neutrally, that this is very far away from the settlement, and any attack here can't really be addressed by the player, but he's already got lumberjacks nearby. He's got gold miners nearby, so this portion is saved. This portion is saved. This one, I mean, it's pretty far away from this gold pile, so it depends on how many units red will attack it with, or I shouldn't say will attack it with, may attack it with. And here we go, a spearman, a scout. Ooh, they might get a villager, but they might die as well. Okay, MbL disengages here. The scout, 3 HP. Is there anything behind here? No, so there's a gap here as well. But JorDan knows that MbL is not going to enter into the town center firing zone. MbL knows that as well, so now he's exploring other avenues of attack. Takes an unnecessary poke. Does look like the spearman made it in here, seeing the relic. Oh no, loses one. Unnecessarily. The one with 3 HP does survive, and now the spearman, I guess, will continue exploring the nether regions of JorDan's base. JorDan, I mean, he's seen the buildings, he's seen the farm, so he now knows generally where his opponent is, and generally is good enough. He now is moving out 2 archers and a spearman himself. This scout moves all the way back. Spearman sees the gold, doesn't see the miners on it. Maybe he did. It looks like he did get vision here of these 2 tiles, so he must have seen the villagers. If he was looking, if he wasn't looking, then to him, it just kind of looks like an empty gold pile. But does he care? He's the one putting on pressure on this wood line right now. More villagers, it looks like, heading south to the wood line. The juicier one, by the way. Okay, so it is our Pole who is applying pressure. And again, look at this wall off that JorDan has created successfully. But here we go. MbL doesn't want to leave matters to the late game. 3 villagers get off the production line, immediately start attacking the spearmen. A counter tower. Why there? Why not on the high ground? This to me looks like it is on the low ground. The high ground starting here. And look at this, JorDan preparing for the worst case scenario. This is emergency planning at its finest. In case red busts into the base, there will be now a secondary wall off made of houses. Archers need to get away, or at least get inside the tower once it finishes building, and get in there immediately. So we've got a bit of a tower war. Tower on tower. Villagers exit. Okay, building a house. Looks like these scouts caught that small force of units, at least the archers. Baba Black Sheep still at the edge of the map for both players. Okay, no, never mind. These are not sheep. These are units. Full health scout guarding the relic, protecting the villagers as they harvest the ostrich. So lots and lots of mills going down for the players, which is necessary on a map that's this expansive and has this amount of wildlife on it. Spearman continuing to get good vision here. Finally does see the villagers, does see the mining camp if he hadn't already. What's the tower? I mean, the tower obviously with 3 archers in it is going to beat 3 arrows to 1. 816 HP to 202. So this is taking down how much? 169, 158, 147. Yeah, so 11, and it's taking 1 damage. I mean, you can tell which one is being more efficient. Oh, lordy. But MbL isn't done. He's got 3 villagers still left on stone. Has the wood. Just needs a bit more stone for a 3rd tower, because the 2nd one's already up with the villagers. I wonder what's better. Should you take these 5 villagers and use them to attack the house, or should you leave them in the tower to add a few extra arrows? Somebody probably has done the math on that. In the meantime, MbL's OG tower has fallen. 2nd tower still up here, but JorDan with the hands of lightning has walled it off with a stone wall. A 3rd tower. MbL expending a lot of stone. Like I said, this map does not have a lot of resources on it. Take a look at the mini map. I mean, where's the closest stone? It's here in the front position. It is already at 800. Aside from that, he's got to go very far off campus for more stone, and once that's done, this I think is a 3rd and a 4th. So very far away. Needs to be careful at the same time. Like we saw, our pole has 2 stone piles secure inside his base. So for now, he's laughing. Looks like he's right-clicking this villager who's spazzing out a little bit. Oh, but she will eventually die. No, my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, a McLean villager here taking so much damage and still standing strong. But here we go, the poles. How many full-works does he have? We see 1. 2 full-works with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 farms. Means that our pole is going to have a good amount of food on hand. And oh no, MbL when full balls to the wall skirmishers, expecting these archers to be around, but there's 5 scouts on the way, and he's not getting the critical pressure, critical damage with this pressure that he needs to. Scouts meet a spear. Spear beats scout in the game's Age of Empires rock paper scissors version. Interesting. I thought for sure JorDan would continue attacking these skirmishers, but here we go. 1 scout is dead. HP on these, I don't even think they can take on 1 spearman. 3 of these guys. Look at their HP. 26 total HP on 3 units. Looks like the 3rd tower, it becomes the 2nd tower to fall. If we're being very specific about things, a sheep is discovered. Scouts continue circling. Where are the spearmen? They're looking to cut off the scouts, or they're just looking to stay home. Okay, all aggression is over. So like I said, MbL either wants to put on early aggression or wants to get his butt up to Castle/Imperial himself. This is a lot of archers. Take a look at army supplies. Almost identical villager count. Our Hindustani with those cheaper villagers is ahead. JorDan has to be careful, though. This is 20% of, let's say, rounded to 20% of his army supply right here. Absolutely terrible HP. And the rest of his army is archers. And there are 8 skirmishers here. But they focus on the scouts, which I'm guessing is the whole point of the scouts, to be the meat shield. Preemptive pulling of the villagers. He knows what's coming south. Oh, look, there's 4 more spearmen, oh my god, skirmishers here. Jordan's army supply continues to grow. That pull 18 villagers on food. Looks like another full work went down. Or rather went up. So chaotic in the feudal age. And I suspect this is exactly what this map is designed to do. Unless the players create their settlements on complete opposite ends. I mean, this is probably one of the closest starting locations we've seen on a Nomad map. There was one I casted maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago. But I think this might be the number 2 for now. 21 army supply to 18, 50 villagers to 45. Uh-oh, our poll has pulled villagers. Definitely not going to build a castle. He is still in feudal. Where are they going? Oh my goodness. They are just attacking. And beautiful positioning here by JorDan, by the way. Catching the skirmishers with these scouts. Army supply for MbL is falling. These archers in the meantime, they don't care. They'll take damage. A few of them will die. Doesn't really matter. He wants to take out these villagers. There's 5 of them in here. A 6th one is stuck outside. Spearman comes, immediately gunned down by the archers. Army supply 17 to 7 all of a sudden. And now the farms are being raided. 2 more villagers will die. Oh my goodness. Things just took an absolute terrible turn here for MbL, who is now down 5 villagers, down 8 army supply, half the army supply of his opponent, but he's heading up to castle. The question is, did that cost him too much? Did the 800 food that he spent going up to castle just cost him the game? Double the army supply, his opponent. 6 more villagers now, continuing to raid to the south, to the north. Towers are starting to poke in. MbL's in a bit of trouble here, and there is no army here to take care of JorDan's archers. The scouts as well are doing what they can. Remember, they attack on a 5 now. Well, 5+1. But the archer's safe and sound within the murder hole non-radius of the tower. But here we go. Castle Age units. If he can get out enough of them. Army supply 16 to 6. The better units here for MbL. The skirmisher against the archers. The camel against the scout. But numbers-wise, he is down 11 army supply, 10 army supply. The camel will be able to get all of this. But here, JorDan just needs to start mixing in some spearmen, and these camels will be completely nullified. 1 army supply. JorDan takes the game with flipping of the script. I mean, amazing use of these folwarks for food. 12 army supply to 1. Double the villager count, just getting way too many kills. Take a look at that. 28 villager kills to 8. And MbL, who started with a fairly standard amount of pressure, as one expects to see against the poles, with a tower up here. This tower's still around, but who cares? It's not really attacking anything. Another tower that was somewhere here that got destroyed. But then JorDan did the unexpected. He didn't rush up to Castle Age. He doubled down on feudal. He has an 11 against a dealer 6. He whips out another bet, places it, says 1 card face down, please. I don't want to see what it is. It pops up a monkey, and he gets the blackjack. Sorry, I was watching a blackjack stream before casting this game, which is why I am all chock full of blackjack analogies. In any event, JorDan doubling down on feudal. Holy moly, brought the villagers, built the towers. The villagers, by the way, are still here. 5 of them inside the tower. And again, oh my goodness, the camel didn't even manage to get the archers. 8 kills on these archers. 7 kills on these scouts. 4 kills on these archers. And now starting to mix in spearmen. But what the hell does our Hindustani have? 1 skirmisher, barely any resources, because again, that's the kind of map that this is. This is not a lush map. This is not Yucatan. This is, again, I said we're wandering in the desert. There might be some sheep, there might be some ostriches, but at the end of the day, not much else. So not expecting to see huge numbers here. 18 skirmishers, 23 archers. I mean, in theory, this beats this, right? PKPM, middle of the game. PKPM, kind of 2/3 of the way through the game. Can't see the economies being too different here. No real relics. A bit more wood for our Hindustani. A bit more food for our Pole. Not surprised. I'm surprised that the lead is that small, to be honest. A lot more gold for our Poles, thanks to that stone mining bonus and the stone as well. But I absolutely love how JorDan just flipped the script on MbL and doubled down. I must have said that like 3 times. Sorry about that, but it's exactly what he did. He said, I know you're going to try to pressure me. You think I'm rushing to castle. Nuh-uh. I'm just going to build a massive army, reach out. You are very close, so I can start bringing villagers. I can start bringing spearmen. I don't have to worry about long distances. I can reinforce. Defender's advantage doesn't exist because this barracks is so freaking close. This archery range so freaking close. Where's his stable? That is a blacksmith. Where is his stables? 2 of them. Okay. Where are his stables? Not where is his stables. 2 of them over here. And with that army, JorDan absolutely wrecks the Hindustani settlement to the north, absolutely wrecks it to the south, racks up 70 kills to 44 of his opponent, more than triple the villager kills. And with that, it is our Pole who takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.